The Spider-Man Brand New Day is not the best Spider-Man movie, but it definitely presents the best Spider-Man we have seen up to now. Honestly, guys, if you are ready for this conversation after those two big statements, let's start talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day, which has finally premiered. The theaters are completely full. Expectations were extremely high, and the world reviewed giving it 100 of, out of 100. But it's Spider-Man Brand New Day, the best Spider-Man movie we had been waiting for, or did it fall short? Leave your opinion in the comment. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you think it's the best Spider-Man movie or the best Spider-Man? I'm gonna read you in the comment, guys. As usual on this channel, we are going to start with the negative things, because this is also what the fun debate is. So, why do I feel that this Spider-Man movie is not the absolute the best? Well, for me, the best one is still Spider-Man 2. And that is because it followed the rule that a movie is only as good as its villain. We had a Star Wars with Darth Vader, or Infinity War with Thanos. Those are movies that, don't need 10 or 20 sequels. With just one, it's more than enough to make the villain an iconic piece of cinema in general. In this Spider-Man movie, there is not even a real villain. And of course, we are going to talking about the spoiler here. The thing, as you may know, the main conflict is with Jean Grey. And the end, because, something like the power of friendship and love, she is a friend rather than a true villain. So what is that intensity? What is that the real drama? It is interesting what happened, but my problem with this is that at the end, it feels like a single TV episode of the character. It's not a big deal. It's not a big scale. It's not a big villain like resolving, And what happened with Unmade, that was something important. If this type of story is told in movies, when we are gonna see movies with a real narrative weight. For example, No Way Home had a clear logic. It had the three Spider-Man actors and a great villain. This movie felt like a normal chapter, an average day in the life of Spider-Man. That is why I will not say this is the best Spider-Man movie, because it feels more like a standalone comic book story or something like that, autoconclusive. A short story, nothing else. Speaking about CGI, something I found interesting, and you can tell me in the comment, is the practical swinging scene. I did not feel, any real difference between the CGI spinning and the practical swinging. All the flicks and movement were CGI anyway, so it made me wonder why they filmed it like that. I understand it was nice to share with the fans, but beyond that, I don't know. But again, the CGI swinging is very good. Maybe the best swinging and the acrobatics yet, but it looks almost identical to the previous movie. And the CGI, I mean, the quality of the CGI. I do not see a massive change there, and all this kind of stuff is something real. And now let's finish with the negative section and focus on the character.